Hit it, Brody.
He's
hit
already
it now.
hit it. It's on. I can see the red.
Okay.
On your
Recording?
OBS.
What's good, everybody? This is George 2D again. We're back in Infinite Nonsense. I'm joined by ArchofAbyss and Rabbit Hat Plays. So how's y'all's week been?
Well, I managed to get a lot of recordings done.
Okay. All right. Well, Rabbit died. That's great. All right, Arch.
What?
How's your week been, Arch?
The recording will show that I didn't die. I'm still alive.
It's going better now.
Wild.
Oh my god! If only the recording would have captured what just happened. Oh man, my week's been hectic because something I didn't mention before. I have like 4 coworkers who are all either going to another company or retiring. All happening this past week, and it's been terrible for me specifically. They all brought in donuts, 2 dozen each, all
Nice.
on the same day. And like, I have self-control. I do.
No,
I don't have that much self-control. I really don't.
No one really does. Yeah.
So
yeah.
7 donuts later, I regretted a lot of decisions I made that day.
Fair.
I remember
Also,
our
I think we lost
conversation
Rabbit for
about
good
that.
now.
What do you mean?
I'm kind of just like ignoring it at this point. Whenever Rabbit talks, he blinks out. Anyway, Ark, how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's only the screen grab from Discord. I look over and I'm talking and Rabbit talking, but we're frozen. And I'm like, oh, he might be talking right now. The recording is only picking up him talking.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Oh, it's fine. My desk
Rabbit.
just decided to pop.
Yes. What's up?
Babbit has
Are you alive?
died.
Am I still dead on your end? Am I still dying?
Are you still in?
Apparently, I'm still dying. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yes.
Fair
You know what? Fair's fair. Fair's a whoa.
Let me close everything else that's not Discord or OBS. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully that
Yeah,
will
no.
fix any of my internet connection issues. I doubt it, but hopefully.
He just closed to like a 2 terabyte window.
Yeah.
Of
That was-
superhero stuff.
It was
Need all
a
his resources.
dinosaur horror games because we were talking about that. And I was looking up all those horror games because George was saying, hey, we should play the horror game of sorts.
What?
He's the type of a guy who just doesn't close tabs. He just has like 7,000 tabs open at once.
Oh, the dinosaur horror.
Let me
game,
try
yeah.
just stop streaming as well. Maybe that'll
Yeah.
help.
No.
Streaming.
In
Yeah,
Discord.
In the Discord.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Brody's streaming. Get his ass.
He's live. Everyone, boo this man.
Cancel him. Say something very canceling.
It's hilarious because
Speaking
I
of
hear
canceling
you
things-
guys just fine, but apparently I'm the one that dies.
You're the
Well,
one who
on-
becomes the
On our
robot.
perspective, yeah.
From our perspective, you're the one who's a robot.
No, you're
Very
a robot.
sus.
Where's McDonald's?
Hold on.
Didn't you ever actually want McDonald's? Hello?
Yeah,
Oh,
I never
hi.
want
Welcome
it. I
back,
just say
Rabbit.
that I want it.
Thanks.
It's funny.
I am
Just-
trying to.
I like thinking
disconnect
that I
my-
want it.
Yeah, it's fun. I honestly it's a meme at this point because Christy doesn't like McDonald's at all, and she's like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, McDonald's. Now it's just a joke at this point.
That's the I don't want to make a decision go to answer now. You make
Yeah.
the decision for me. What was that?
Oh, there's a cat behind me.
Oh,
Oh.
that was a cat. Okay.
I thought. Never
Am I still dying?
No, you're fine.
Not
now.
as much as before, yeah.
Okay. I hope it stays that way.
I do too, Rabbit. I do too.
Why is she wet? What the heck?
What?
I didn't need
Ember,
to
why are
know
you
that she
wet?
was wet.
TMI, George.
Ember, I gotta. Why, Ember, why are you wet? Huh? Why are you wet? No, no. Why are you wet? Why are you wet?
This is all making amazing content. Aww.
Why are you wet, you dumb cat?
My heart.
It's an ugly cat, bro. Don't get your heart broken by this.
No such thing.
Everyone thinks he's like really adorable, but I'm the only one who thinks it's ugly.
See,
Looks can be deceiving.
I think
Ember,
you
why
have
are you
the
in the
inverse
bathtub?
issue of most people. They're taking a bath. What do you mean? That's the point of a bathtub.
Why are you being bad? Huh?
Because
Why
you're
are you
not
being
giving
bad?
enough attention.
What?
Keeps asking obvious questions.
Ember, why are you being bad? I give you enough attention, you spoiled cat.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let go of me. Let go of me.
Well, Rabbit, while you're not
Yes?
dying, do you want to tell everyone how your week has been?
Yes, I would. My week has been really good. I have gotten a lot of recordings done, and I'm catching back up to where I used to be, and it's nice. It is finally making my head a lot less painful. Also, on a painful note, my shorts feed has been filled with a lot of YouTube shorts that are that have the music of ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba da bum bum bum. It's like it's all the time. It's so frequent. It's driving me insane.
You know, there's this
Insane in the
amazing
membrane.
feature.
Uh-huh.
It's called not clicking on them.
I don't. I scroll down.
You actually scroll down on shorts?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't?
God no. I back out and I go to another one, and now I curate my own choices. I don't let it like do the auto thing.
God. That sounds like torture.
Dear God. Well, yeah, you know what else sounds worse? Da 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 dun da 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 dun dun. All right, that sounds like a way worse fate.
And dun dun dun. And
George
the
is going into
worst
labor.
part about it, yeah. Let him labor. But a lot of the
Got on a
lot of
treadmill
the
during this recording.
a lot of the shorts that do that music is with that new Uma Musume gotcha game.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the fucking horse one.
Yep, the horse derby one.
God damn! I thought Otto was joking. Then I saw that. I'm like, no shot. This
Yeah,
is
no,
real.
it's a thing.
Yeah, found out that it's actually based on an actual anime. Kind of like
Yes.
the One Piece
No,
gotcha
I know
games
the
tend to
original
be.
anime.
I'm
Yeah,
depressed
no,
now.
I've actually
I didn't know.
read the
didn't know.
manga.
I didn't know it existed.
I see. This is a weird
I didn't
thing
know.
for me. I don't know if I'm just on a site that has a lot of like up and coming stuff, but like there are so many of the new animes that everyone finds super popular, and I feel like one of those hippies that's like I looked at that long before anyone else had, and I've already caught up to like where the season 2 would be, and I literally don't know where it is in my list of like saved manga to go back and actually like reread it or anything like that. But like it's just weird. I've seen it, all of it before, and now they've made an entire gotcha game out of it.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until the gotcha game. And
thought
apparently,
about it since
this gotcha game is very similar in the way of Fate Grand Order, where in Japan it's been there for the past like year or two already, and now the global release only recently happened. So Japan's like 2 years ahead. So we know what to expect is going to be coming in the global releases. All the mechanics and stuff that's to come.
Yeah. Speaking of other games that are like Japanese release only, I need some of the like arcade rhythm games to become like at least purchasable over here in America. Like
Arcade for them games.
Bro, man, there's so much. There's an arcade by me, and I go and the only reason why I go there is because I got a memory card for one of the games. I can't tell you what the name of the game is. I really can't. But
He doesn't know how to pronounce
God,
it.
do I love
mean,
it.
He can't.
Basically it.
He and I can't even pronounce capitate.
Sakabatate. That's French, not Japanese.
Well, it's a language that's not English.
It's very true. We're very good at butchering languages, including English.
That's
Wow.
true.
Don't think you're special. It's every language we butcher.
That's true. That true. Yes.
Oh God. Anyway, it's good that your week is
Anyway.
doing well, George.
What's up?
Don't call me out for saying anyway. It's my transition lately.
Anyway,
That's been my
I work with this
transition
dude.
for forever.
I
hate
work
it
with this
every
really
time I'm
old
editing.
guy. Every single time we're in a conversation and he makes like a humorous joke out of stuff and no one else laughs but him, he does this awkward chuckle followed by anyway, you know, and then we go on to something else.
does
Every
the meme.
single time I have a conversation, every single time, I'm
Art's
just like,
become his coworker.
ugh,
Well, he
I'm
does the
not
meme.
that old yet.
He does the
Does the
meme.
The meme? What meme? There's a meme about this?
Yeah, where topic gets brought up, and then the meme is basically the person going, "Haha." Anyway,
Oh no.
That's cool.
Anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All of those, all of the above.
Well, that one I thought stemmed from the Top Gear guy who was like, "Oh no." Anyway,
It
and then
did
continued
stem
on with
from
something
that.
else entitled.
It
Yeah.
did stem from that, but that's where the anyways meme.
I thought that was a Biden thing. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, anyway,
Biden thing.
Why a Biden?
he says
thing?
that whenever the conversation goes in a way he doesn't like want to continue, he kind of like diverts it. Anyway. Anyway.
Anyway.
Well, anyway,
It's like everything
Who's at
else
the topic today?
is ill.
It's gonna a good bell, a
unchangeable.
beautiful bell, gonna be amazing. Anyway,
All the bells, all the bells, they go jingle all the way.
the golden bells everywhere.
Yep.
Anyway.
So yeah, George,
George!
what's it that you wanted to talk about? How was your week? Is it all about the
How was
bells?
your week?
I'm just waiting for you guys to finish. No, my week's been pretty good. Just chilling, relaxed. I get today is like one of the days that because me and Christy have been the last couple weekends we've just been doing stuff, traveling out of town, visiting family, seeing friends, different cities. And this weekend is finally like a one where we could actually just relax, chill, and it was really nice. But yeah, just taking it easy this weekend. So it's been pretty good. But yeah, the topic I wanted to talk about today, that Rabbit claims that could get us canceled, but I don't believe that will.
Ark claims it.
Yeah, Rabbit.
Don't
my fault.
don't confuse my voice with Ark. That's the other
could you say
meme we
that,
were
Rabbit?
talking about.
That's
Oh,
funny.
No.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Anyway,
here.
we're gonna talk about the downfall of Twitch. Have a shitty
Oh shit.
flippity floppity fucking platform it is, and holy shit. Just with the whole like banning certain individuals, not banning certain individuals.
Double standards of Twitch is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I see why some
it's
didn't
just-
want to be here today.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he would revel in this like controversy if he was here.
Yeah,
Would
probably.
love to.
Yeah.
But we sadly have you, so we had to deal with that.
I know.
Sucks,
But
doesn't
yeah.
That's just one of the things that I really want to kind of talk about is the I guess the double standard of Twitch and the hypocrisy of the platform of it being like this because the problem with Twitch is
Mhm.
that they're allowing like I guess fuck it, we can talk about Hassan. Like Hassan has been like just been taunting and pouting these ideas and stuff that would otherwise be getting other people banned if they were to say these things like
Touting the
terroristic
ideas?
threats.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rabbit. I had a brain fart. My fault.
Good.
But yeah, like talking about like things like like America deserved like these events like 9/11. and not getting any punishment for it. Yet Tectone goes and calls out calls a who is it? Is it Frogan? I think another creator. He calls her fat and gets banned.
Yes.
It's like, what? Like how?
Yeah,
What?
I thought. And then there was the other one. I think it was was it Denims who he called?
Yeah,
He called a whore. Yeah.
he called her a whore.
That.
Yep.
Exactly,
She is
'cause-
one.
Well, yes,
Well,
agreed. I think that I feel like by definition, that's one of those things that's kind of the hard reality that is. It's this like it is a double standard, and I do agree with that.
Hold on, Ark.
The
before you
problem
go,
is,
I'm gonna make a
Sure.
disclaimer here. We each have our own individual opinions. What I say does not mean that's what Rabbit and Ark think as well. I think Denims is a hoe. Ark and Rabbit may think otherwise. I just want to make that point. Anyway, go on.
so from my understanding, and I'm gonna kind of preface this with I haven't looked into it too deeply. I've only kind of heard or hearsay a lot of the content as to why, like the context as to why they call her a whore is because she has an OnlyFans where she does explicit content on there. I feel
For
like
money.
if you're doing for money sexually explicit content, that is the definition of a whore. That's just my understanding of how you define that word. So whether or not,
No, I'm just kidding.
okay, right?
Okay, Twitch. If you say so, Twitch.
Right. So to me, it's one of those revisionisms of if you're going to not call a spade, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to make that true for every other word, or make it clear that which words you're not allowed to call certain individuals, which they explicitly do not state in the terms of service as to why people. It's a discretionary, a discretionary term of service that leads it to the moderation team to decide subjectively what things violate and what things don't. The problem with having a subjective type of terms of service is that you're effectively in the view of the platform creating laws for the lands that are allow some rules for some people but different rules for others. Now legally, I'm sure some people are arguing this, so I'm going to kind of just say what I think on it. That creates a very subjective field of monetization. So when you talking about personal preferences, you can do that. There's no problem. That's up to you guys. But when you're talking about livelihoods where people earn the ability to make enough money to live effectively off of your platform, and you are benefiting from specific legal rights that allow you to have these people on your platform but not be reprimanded for what they say, it kind of culminates in this whole like melting pot of like a bait and switch kind of situation in my eyes, where you can't let some people do one thing and then not let other people do the same thing to earn money from you without being classified as somebody who is effectively publishing and moderating the content that is on your platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can't be saying
I said that
rules
very
for thee-
poorly, but like,
You can't be saying rules for thee, but not for me, unless, and I think this was explained by one of the lawyers that have been looking into this whole debacle. If Twitch's terms of service in their rules said you can't do this unless you're, and then they give the list of exceptions, then while yes, it's technically still a double standard, they have explicitly stated in the rules, if you're this person, then it's fine. But if you're not this person, then it's not fine. It would be a lot
I feel like
better legally speaking for their organization if they did that. But right now, as it stands, it's very shaky grounds as to the practices that they're doing.
I also have some more thoughts on it before I go, though. George, do you have any like follow up on those? Just so we get you involved.
Yeah. I just, I mean,
Oh God, that makes me
I've
nervous.
already kind of like exalted my take on everything. A lot of my own streams and my own personal accounts, and
Yeah, but that's
um,
not here
I
on
ju-
this channel.
I was gonna
I
let the
know
podcast
that,
know.
Rabbit. I know that, Ark. Leave me alone. But as I was saying, I have a very, I wouldn't say controversial, but more like I'm more prone to saying how I feel. Rabbit knows that. Ark knows that. Some know. A lot of my
Mhm.
friends know that. Um, but I kind of fall in line with Ark was saying. Like, if you're doing something like OnlyFans and stuff, and you're by definition, right, when you exploit yourself sexually in any kind of form or fashion for the transaction of money, that's basically what that is, right? Like being a hoe or
Yeah.
being whatever. Um,
Selling your body for money, I believe, is
Yeah.
prostitute. I think it is.
but what I find funny though is I've been hit with arguments whenever you say things like that. It's I get targeted as like a sexist when I say that, because even though I never really said it was women in particular. I just said anyone who does that is considered a hoe, like that, men included. You know,
Mhm.
I just think it's really interesting when I'm targeted as that.
Oh,
Which then leads into my other point, where like we've become such a digital society where we become comfortable with saying things that can brandish or label a person and not have to deal with the repercussions of saying that. As in,
Yeah.
I can call that person like the hard R word, rhymes with a leotard.
Mm.
But like,
I
that
thought it
one,
was
okay.
nuclear. My bad.
That's N, not R.
Well, no.
but yeah, no. In happenstance, it is the hard R is known as the other word. I know, but
yeah.
but yeah, no. The like if I were to call that person a leotard, like obviously in person they would want to fight me and say like what, like they'll actually confront me. The problem is nowadays people can say stuff without like without any repercussions. A great example is this one kid. He's like a social commentator. He does debates, and people tout him as like this. I think his name is Dean Withers or something like that.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Withers. He's like a social commentator. He does a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that, debating stuff on politics and stuff like that. But there was one instance where he tried to like justify getting rid of a or having a father lose their son just because he said something like, so the basis of it is he believes that a child should have the right to decide what they do with their person, when the father was basically saying like, no, that's my kid, he's like 8 years old, what I decide what happens to the kid, I decide what the kid decides to do. As a parent, Dean decides to twist that and make it seem like, oh, so if you want to put your kid through sex trafficking, you have the ability to do that. And the guy's like, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I have the ability to control my kid because this is my son, my daughter, because they're still a child. They're my responsibility. And I would. He even says, like, the guy says, like, I would never put my child through that. But then, like, I don't know what it is. Like, Dean had this look in his eye, like he's like, oh my god, this guy is crazy. Like he goes and asks his viewers or his chat or his community to dox the man and to get the man notified by CPS to have the kid taken away from him. And it's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this kid just needs a punch in his face. That's all he does. Because all he is just a social fucking. He's a social media celebrity. And
isn't? Hold on. I'm sorry.
What's up?
Dean Withers, right?
Yeah, Dean Withers. He's like a young kid, like a 16-year-old, I think. Or
he was basically
17-year-old.
being branded as like one of the big
the Ben Shapiro's of the Democrats, basically.
Didn't he used to do like Andrew Tate grifts?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I've only seen a handful of stuff.
Was like, he used to be like, yeah, I'm currently driving like 2 hours with $1 million in cash, and what are you doing? Nothing,
Was
cause
that
you
him?
suck.
Actually, I think you might be right, but I'm not 100% sure because I think I remember hearing people do those old video rehashes effectively, showcasing those.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video about this. I just looked up his name and his face like triggered this like, I've seen a YouTube video about this guy before. Where have I seen it? And I thought when he was like while he was like really young, like underage young, like 17, 16, something like that, he was like using money he had gotten to create like an ebook or something, and trying to sell how to one of those stereotypical like, here's how you can become a millionaire if you simply follow my 18-step strategy or whatever the hell he was putting out there. And it was like the problem was that he was selling it for like $275 or something, some absurdly high number for an ebook, and that's how he earned a lot of the money initially. And when I went, like, the whole point of the video was that when he stopped, when that didn't work, he then transitioned to this like other personality of what he currently is, where he's just what do they call him? They called him the Bro Whisperer or something.
The Bro Whisper.
Yeah.
I can't say because I'm not educated on that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if it is him, so I can't. Just gonna say I have no comment because on that
Okay.
alone. Because just because I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not gonna comment on something I don't know. It might be,
That's fair.
it might not. I just don't know really.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah, back to the point. Like it's a great example of what I'm talking about. Like, and it's funny because Tecton even made a point of it too. He's like, we should bring back bullying, and I genuinely agree with that. I think we should bring back bullying because we've become such a soft society that we can't express an opinion without it being like the mainstream ideas, the idiom of the moment.
I'd
Like,
to
if
push
you like,
back
for
on that
example,
notion
like
a little bit.
Well, yeah, but like what I mean is like right now the main thing in social media is trans rights, LGBTQ, that kind of thing. And like if you speak against that, you're all of a sudden a bigot just because you don't agree with it.
Right.
And I think
but
that's a little bit of harsh to come at with somebody who just thinks differently. And what I
Yes.
mean by bullying is being able to say, no, I'm not going to, because I think that's a stupid ideology because that's my opinion. And
Well-
just because it's a different status quo opinion shouldn't automatically brandish you as this evil person. And I think
Agreed.
I think that should be stopped because we're losing the ability to think or to be the ability to have different mindsets or ways of thinking by just eliminating all other facets of thought and just focused on one thought, if that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I would like to push back as well, but I have a different pushback, I think, and I want Rabbit to go first because he kind of
Rabbit, go
interjected
first.
already.
Yeah, so the pushback that bring back bullying, that's the pushback that I want to do. Bullying has still been there. It's just not been bullying to the people that have been being bullies. That have been socially acceptable of having the bullying, like calling people racist or homophobic or whatever.
Yeah.
They have been doing a lot of bullying, and anytime they get pushback because they're wrong on that matter, because they're just trying to make you the bad guy regardless of how true it is so that they can look good. Bullying has still been there, and that's the only little pushback that I wanted to give to that notion.
Okay.
Do I agree that they need to be bullied back if they are in the wrong? Absolutely. If they are going to be dishing it out, they can take that's being dished out at them, and they don't like that.
So,
Yep.
So I have a slightly different perspective on it. I would say bullying isn't the right focus. I think
Says
the
you.
bigger problem. I mean,
Just
yeah, I
kidding.
know, right? No, what I was kind of gonna like get at was I think the bigger problem that people don't talk about nearly as much is not that bullying has sort of become not okay to do. I think the bigger problem is the labeling that you were talking about. I
Yeah.
believe that the age of communication, like the way I kind of look at it, this is my own perspective. I'm going to kind of go on a mini side tangent, but I promise I'll try to bring it back.
No, you're good. Go
The
for it.
the age of the internet has increased the speed at which the change of eras has occurred so rapidly that we've experienced multiple eras of technology within the same generation, and that's something that really hasn't been studied or shown in a lot of the previous generations. And what I mean by that is when, I'm not too well versed in the silent generation eras of communication, but around then was around the age of radio communication, where we shifted from horseback and boat and even airplane delivery of letters to immediate radio communication. We went from the speed of horse to the speed of sound of how do we communicate to one another. And then from that era, during the baby boom generation and silent generation's peak, we started going into television. And now we had both visual and auditory learning. So two things happened. One, the speed increased even faster. And two, the primary form of learning changed from reading books and being very visual to more of an auditorial learning being a primary way of people communicating ever since, like musical revolutions of the 1920s and where you can actually start recording music and playing it back. Then that shifted again during the age of the internet. There was a time not too long ago when people were
again.
Well, yeah, I figured I was already talking about that, where now it's more about charisma, where how people looked mattered more than necessarily how they sounded. The purpose of their ideas, or like the concept of the ideas, was not necessarily like needed as much. So then when you go again to the internet, the other aspect of the internet that kind of shifted everything once again is that we are now still inside the visual learning type of era. Now we have, let's just fast forward to YouTube with a lot of videos that people learn from. A lot of people learn more from YouTube videos in like colleges and stuff than they do from the lectures or from like actual reading books or anything like that. We once again shifted from needing to read and needing to like comprehend to more auditorial. And that's advanced even further with AI, where now we can just have that do thinking for us. But even before I get into that topic, like just speaking on the ages, right? You had the radio age, and then you had like the TV age. And these were all part of like the silent generation, the baby boom generation, the Cold War era. That kind of stuff is in my head kind of the things weren't changing very rapidly.
Well,
it's when the technology era happened that things started to really take off.
Well, they were compared to the internet and its takeoff. So back when TV and radio broadcasting were first happening, there could only be certain locations that could be set up, and you had to have certain licenses. There was range, but there was certain licenses that would need to be earned to be able to get to do those things. With the age of the internet, that was basically given to everyone. And when YouTube kind of cropped its head around, everyone's posting their own content onto the YouTube channels, their own personal accounts, and broadcasting it to the whole world without a need for license, without a need for standardization, without any of that kind of necessity. So it became the Wild West of information senditure.
And that right there is the word that I was going to try to get to, which is the age of information. So during the dawn of the technological revolutions of the internet and of computers, we entered into the age of information freedom, where people, as you said, kind of finally had an outlet that they couldn't before, because the cost of production, the cost of brick and mortar, the cost of having a store, having the ability to kind of get your ideas out there was too high for the average person to be able to just interject their way into. You had to have a special degree or skill set to enter into those kinds of conversations. The age of the information freedom allowed you to kind of do that without any resources. It's just the cost of a computer, basically. But then that led into another age, which is the age of, well, information, where now we had a lot of people starting to talk and a lot of people starting to put their ideas out there and starting to gain popularity and gain their own momentum and build their own channels and build their own, like, basically mini TV shows on YouTube, which then led to the age of information saturation, where now there's too much information out there. You can't consume it all, which then that led to the age of information misinformation, where people were starting to actively use this saturation to their advantage to dilute what people can and can't say. Again, basically retaking control of the Wild West, which now led to the age of AI, where now we're having the age of information dissemination, where you are able to parse bits and pieces of information that have been kind of strewn out there and actually start to decipher where bullshit is and where bullshit isn't. And that's, I think, where we're at right now. Why are we starting to talk about Twitch when in reality, Twitch's issue's been happening for 5, 6, 7 years? Well, it's because we suddenly have all of the proof that's been on the information online forever. We're able to actually sort through that and actually find clips from 10, 20, 30 years ago. And that's something that we've never been able to do with any topic in history, basically. Being able to pull up evidence from, like, in example for the US, pulling up things that people said in the 1980s and 1990s and using that against them today. That's something that I don't think has been easily accessible or done as readily as we are now. So being able to call people out on their BS immediately is something relatively new. That is a tool that is it's unique to us. And I think that's where now we're getting outraged purely because we have the ability to see it, right? If we didn't know about it, we wouldn't be complaining about it right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair point.
The old adage of ignorance is bliss, and I like living that adage a lot, even though I actively try to keep my ear to the ground for a lot of shenanigans, like the dramas that's happening on the social media platforms of Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, I think another part of it is because we're so integrated with that, like, we don't want Twitch to fail. I think that's the reason we are also talking about it, is because
I do.
To me, well, kinda. Well, so the way I look at it, right, it's like Overwatch for me. I never wanted Overwatch to become what it is now, because I loved Overwatch for what it was. I loved how it did something very unique and had very unique characters. The problem really was the decisions along the way. And that's what I think Twitch has become, where, like, then the initial concept is fantastic. And it does a lot of good for the world, in my opinion, if used correctly. It's just not being used correctly, but even though that saying is very subjective, and I recognize that.
So the way I see it is Twitch is feeling very similar to the way Skype was. So before Discord even existed, everyone was using Skype. And before Skype, there was another platform called Instant Messenger, but that doesn't exist anymore. I'm old. Yes, we know.
Yeah.
But with Skype,
I'm old.
Everyone,
I can feel my beard growing.
Everyone ended up having their groups where they talked very freely, very much like what we do in Discord. The big issue with Skype ended up being when Microsoft bought Skype, and they started throwing advertisements all over the place, making it harder and harder to actively use as the way it was being used before. Unless you paid for the monthly subscription, then you could use it just fine. Then, but due to that, Discord started popping its head out into the woodworks back in 2016 or 2015, somewhere around there. And people got wind of it as the new Skype. Sure, there was also Slack, but Slack had its own limitations of you need to have your email account associated with every single server you go to, not as easy as it is with Discord, where it's one login and then you can go to whatever server that you're associated with. Um, and with that being the case, Discord had effectively replaced Skype for the vast majority of people that were not using it for business purposes. Well, time kept going and people found Zoom and other platforms for businesses to use that function very much like Skype. That, if I remember correctly, Skype recently was going under because they weren't making the money off of it. Microsoft effectively ruined it with their choices on how to run the platform. And it's kind of like Activision did to Blizzard, where the corporation that knew how to handle money picked up an organization that was really beloved, but didn't know how to handle the money as well. So they were kind of in financial straits, ended up getting bought out, and then the company slowly started going downhill. The people started to hate them because of their business practices that were being implemented that was new. I feel like Twitch is falling into that same situation, and that's why Kick is the new location for people to run over to, because it's basically Twitch without the Twitch moderation.
Yep.
I would say, in some respects, I'm not entirely sure they don't know what they're doing. I feel like they know what they're doing, and they just are operating under one of two things: an assumption that even if they do, it's sort of like testing the grounds, so to speak. They're doing bad decisions on purpose to test the supply demand curve to see if they can still get away with it, and B, test the competition to see how much it actually drives people away. I think that even if they crash and burn, the parent company doesn't care. They're big enough, they're rich enough that even if they lose this stream of revenue, then worst case scenario, they just fund Kick, or they just make another Twitch. They have enough money to do so, and they now have the experience to moderate it, and they now know, okay, this was a line too far. I can now remove all the baggage that comes with Twitch and just make something new with the same infrastructure I already have, just rebranded. Sort of like how Facebook turned into Meta.
The way I see it is Amazon will probably the easiest route for Amazon is to keep the branding but remove the moderation team, because the biggest issue for Twitch right now is not Twitch itself. Everyone still says that they love Twitch. They just hate how it's being moderated. It's not
right.
Twitch
the
that's
brand
the
itself
problem.
isn't sullied.
Yeah, the brand itself is not sullied, but the moderation team is not trusted. So
the entire process is stupid.
Yes, it is stupid, and it's only been built up to be stupid because of way businesses tend to handle things. And I
decisions
understand,
along the way, yes.
Yeah, and I understand how it gets built up. It's kind of like it's like plaque in an artery. It slowly builds up over time to clog the entire system. You got to find a way to clear out that clog effectively.
Yes.
Or it's too late.
Yes, before it's too late, before it dies.
Well, there's also various things that kind of associate that, where you can have a heart attack or like a stroke or something, and you still live, right? I feel like that's sort of what we're kind of culminating to, is if Twitch lives, it retains its branding, and they start doing something about it so that they don't have another stroke, because that's very scary and very dangerous, and you don't want that. But if they do end up perishing, it just means that the brand itself perishes, not necessarily the infrastructure that goes along with it, that maintains it and all that other stuff. That can all be repurposed as another company's or another brand's sort of mantra. Because like as you were saying, the brand isn't sullied. It's not like Twitter was back in the day, where they got associated with a very specific group of people. That's why it was rebranded into X,
No.
Also, very strange name. But
But
yeah, people still call it
that's
Twitter.
not why. Well, that's not why the Twitter's name got changed. Twitter's name got changed because Elon Musk wanted to have a remembrance or something of one of his childs, and that's why.
Oh.
And he likes the name X, and so that's why he rebranded it. It's because he now owns it, not because that Twitter was a sullied name or whatever. It was this. It was a very dumb reason to change the name, and everyone really disliked it because, well, it's so much easier to say I tweeted because now you know that you posted on Twitter rather than going I posted. It's like, well, where did you post?
I feel like to be fair, that is also a recency thing. Like if it was never called Twitter and you called it something else, you could have easily called it something else. I think that the bad part in my eyes is calling it X, right? Like the X is the stupid part, not necessarily the rebranding.
Well, if it started off as X, I think it would have been fine. It's kind of like the like what I was saying about the Superman versus Batman thing. If it was made to be not part of the
He's
IP,
crossing episodes.
I am crossing episodes.
He's crossing episodes.
How dare he?
But if it was
Gotta
not
watch the other episodes now,
associated-
chatter. Viewer, whatever you are.
You gotta
People,
keep an eye out.
Whatever you are.
The nonsensical people who'd watch this show.
Brody, just whatever you are.
Yeah, that would be actually pretty interesting if we did
funny.
webcam oriented and now we had actual viewers instead of just listeners.
Oh God.
I'm down.
That's the next step.
I want to see Arc. I want to see Arc.
No. I'm just gonna get myself my own VTuber model. I'll have Rabbit make it.
No,
Yeah,
don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna make it.
If you do that, give him big boobas.
I'll have a toggle for that. Yes.
Here's the
hey,
thing,
man.
jiggle.
You laugh, but like the next step is gonna be AR, where you're gonna have a toggle for like IRL webcammers or what do they call them? Flesh tubers or whatever.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
George is.
You know,
it's
it's-
flesh tuber.
All right. You
Ugh.
know what's really funny though is that I actually contemplated like making like a VTuber model, just give myself big pair of jugs, and like fucking.
Hey man,
just,
Why are you
but
gonna
like,
have
but like,
just
things
wait,
use like a voice
buckets?
changer, and then like there's a redeem where you reveal my real voice. It's just, it was good game.
hey, just give it some time. We already got filters, right? Eventually, they'll just make a filter that gives your actual person big boobas.
There you go. Wait a minute.
It's true. True.
I don't like
Wait a
that.
minute.
I don't like that.
George 2Ds. You know where the 2Ds are.
I fucking hate this. I'm done. That's it. No more. Done.
Hey man,
George.
it's
There,
good.
there.
You can't
there.
stop progress.
You can't. Progress always wins, man.
Exactly. Speaking
but,
of,
But yeah, like I but back on your point, Arc. I think there is. I think it is also very important to kind of mention that, you know, human beings are very drama centric. Like we love drama. We love hearing the tea. We love hearing, you know, shit and all that.
it's true.
But at the same time, though, it's exciting. But to bring it back to the whole bullying aspect, I think.
Oh, yeah.
There should be. I think there should be some form of bullying that should come back in a form of, like kind of like how you I forgot if it was you or Rabbit that said it. Like if someone's willing to dish out shit, they should be able to take shit too.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that should be a thing, but unfortunately, with certain demographics of people, if you do that, then you're branded as like the enemy, quote unquote enemy of society.
No,
that's the issue that I have with
that right there is the thing I take. I want to like emphasize that point. I think the notion behind bullying coming back, I fundamentally agree with the outcome you were trying to achieve with bringing bullying back.
Yeah.
I just think that so this is again what I was trying to get at with the whole age of information to misinformation to dissemination. That whole spiel I went on was to kind of drive home the fact that we've developed this funny new type of engineering which sucks, and it's called social engineering. And that we're basically a bunch of dogs sitting behind a fence barking at everyone else. That physical barrier between in communicate. Yes, exactly like that.
No shot. He actually fucking barked.
Who? What now?
Exactly. We're barking along in the distance.
rabbit.
But but that was that's sort of where we are right now mentally. Where we love tribalizing each other because we like being in groups. We like talking to each other. Just as because we're social creatures, because we love being in greater numbers, and a lot of times having the larger numbers is a self like reaffirming type of psychological benefit, where it's like, I'm in with a bunch of people, I will protect them and they will protect me, more importantly, because we share very similar ideas, and as long as my ideas align with theirs. What?
Are you on my team? Yes. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Team. Yes, team.
Exactly. Exactly. You're wearing the blue bandana? Awesome. I'm on the blue bandana team. Oh, you're wearing a red bandana? How dare you? Like that kind of mentality is just engraved inside of us. And unfortunately, I like, so this is something I kind of believe, and this may get me in a lot of trouble. I personally come at it from the perspective of treating every single person that I ever encounter as an idiot. And that's how I believe everyone should treat everyone else. Mainly because I'm also an idiot. I just think I don't come at it with a delusion that I know things, because a lot of times things can change and perspectives can change. And the thing that is proven to me that is the concept of social engineering. It's quite literally an entire group of study to figure out how can I make as many people as possible do what I want them to do by showing them the things that they like. Yeah, and that's how the barrier bullying kind of got, was stripped away, because bullying bad. No one likes bullying, right? Therefore, if I make everyone believe, like there's no consequences to their opinions, first we'll do something small. We'll have them agree with something as simple as bullying is bad. You don't want to do that. You don't want to leave any child behind. That's also very bad. And it's always a single order operation of thinking. And the only way you can get away with convincing a bunch of people that a single order operation is a good thing is if you teach them not to think for themselves beyond, okay, well, if I say this, what are the consequences? And what's the end result of those consequences? And what consequences do those consequences have, right? They don't ever think that far, because that takes a lot more critical thinking and requires you to honestly have a little bit higher awareness of both your current surroundings and the future surroundings as well. And sometimes if they don't think that far, you can tell them what that answer is instead of them coming to that conclusion themselves.
And then people lose critical thought.
Well, it's compounded with AI when you have things literally think for you. That's another thing. Actively making people not think as far ahead. And I think that's kind of where a lot of this stems from, is not necessarily that there's not just no consequence, that there isn't any consequences. That is definitely a factor. But I think it's this complacency that, like, because you have to be an expert in so many different things to be a member of the information age, you can't ever be an expert on everything. So you become an armchair expert on as many things as possible. The problem with becoming an armchair expert on everything is that unless you have to think critically constantly about all of the topics and read into each of them to enough of a level to where you can make a actual disseminating decision on a lot of these things, you're never going to be able to make an accurate portrayal of the thing you're trying to make some sort of argument on. You're going to always be some surface level, one order of operation away type of argument, like this thing good, this thing bad. And then if you have enough of those, black and white kind of arguments of on and off, good, bad kind of things, eventually you can make a gradient, sure, if you zoom out far enough. But if you zoom in close enough, you can see none of them are really deeply thought through. And that's what leads to, well, you just sort of accepting what other people say and what other people think, and it leads to just what you see, basically. Some people favor other people because it's all about power, and it's all about, they can say this and I believe in them, so as long as I let them say this thing, I'm going to get some benefit out of it. And then everyone's going to believe them and still give them money.
Yeah, it's appealing to their biases, I guess. Or ethos, yeah.
Appealing to emotions, yeah. So you got your ethos, pathos, and logos, right? That's like a standard English class type of thing.
Ethos is ethical. I think pathos is what you're meaning. Pathos is emotion.
Well, he
Is
said all
path
of
no
them.
ethos is ethics, I guess. So then pathos is pathological, which would be emotions. You're right.
Yep.
And then logos is your logic. Which that's the hardest one in my opinion, only because actually no, I think ethos would end up being your hardest one because logos you can sort of think through.
Yep.
Pathos is sort of just what you are feeling, right? Is that right? Hold on.
Yep.
Are we
Logos is
spreading
like
this in?
logos is explaining bullet points 1, 2, and 3. Pathos is explaining why those are 1, 2, and 3. Ethos is explaining
How you
like
feel about
no, wait. No. Pathos is how you feel. Ethos is like why they are that way. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But it'd be
Yeah.
ethical, isn't it? I thought ethos was
So
ethical.
ethos is it's all
You're an
from
ethical rabbit.
Aristotle, right? Where ethos is credibility, pathos is emotion, and logos is logic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the problem with credibility is that you can psychologically manipulate people's emotions and their thought processes to think of it like the pirate software situation. Why do people inherently want to believe someone like him? Well, it's
He
because
works
he
at Blizzard.
sounds like he's talking confident. Well, no, it's because he sounds confident. That's really what it is. You know, he never talks about being working at Blizzard. He's never been, you know, the first, second generation Blizzard employee. He's never said that. Never.
Never.
But he learned how to act confident. Sort of like me, right? I speak confidently when half the time I'm just bullshitting everybody. That's just because I speak like that, I guess. I've realized a long time ago that like, hey, I just need to speak like I know what I'm talking about because it does no one any good being not confident in your own thoughts. It just brings unneeded worry when you're correct. The only time you should have worry is when you're not 100% confident in what you are saying. But you also have to always be prepared to admit that you were wrong if you do end up making the wrong call.
Yep.
And that's to me what it just means to be a leader is it's like anyone can act confident. I truly believe that. You can learn confidence. You can't necessarily learn the ability to lead others and the ability to connect with others. A lot of times that's experience driven, and it's some people just never learn it. They never get over themselves. They never get past the self ego and move into more of a what's the word, empathetic state.
Yeah,
And
I'm calling you out on this one, Rabbit. I swear you
What?
can't.
What the
Screw
fuck?
you, rabbit. I mean, like
I was more meaning like the moderators at Twitch. Like a lot
know.
of them, I feel like have their self ego that kind of is why they do what they do, right? They get defensive about things. Like that's what I do. Is if you know when you get defensive about something, you start to make irrational decisions. Unfortunately, they're in a position where you're the way the system is designed is that they are supposed to be the arbiter of what is okay and all right by the terms of service and what isn't.
They're the
When they
judge,
start
jury,
making
and
inconsistent
executioner.
decisions. Yeah, and that's only
All right,
allowed.
Punisher.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. They punish people by giving out ban hammers, don't they? But not
Yeah.
on the weekend.
Yeah.
Not on the weekend, of course not.
Not on the weekend. Yeah. I mean, there's that Sunday that you just get banned and you get unbanned. It doesn't happen on that.
Well, you're not allowed to
day.
be unbanned. That's right. The unban hammer is not on the weekends. The ban hammer is always.
Right.
Ban hammer always.
Yeah,
It's like
that to me is the stupid part about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, the other stupid part is the coordination. Learning about the coordination aspect of it. It's just like, no, you don't know that shouldn't be how that works. I mean, I understand why it works that way, but no.
Yeah, that actually goes into the whole bullying thing in my eyes, because I feel like what you were saying, Rabbit, where it's always a one-sided bullying that's been allowed up till now. It's the whole concept of cancel culture, where what is that whole concept? My understanding of that is it's when you have a lot of quote unquote competitive companies that control all of the zone of competition for social connectivity, all simultaneously agreeing that they are not going to allow a specific individual to partake inside of that area of communication, which leads to like, how do they do that? Well, they brand them a specific title that goes against all of their collective terms of service. Something like, calling Tectone in this case a what is they call them, rapist? I think rapist.
Yeah,
I'm trying to not use the right
rapist or
term.
sexual. Yeah, it was that.
Bleep that out.
Yeah.
bleep that
So
out.
yeah, right. Just start
the hour
bleeping
mark.
everything I
Even
say
that.
out as much as you can.
It's the hour even.
It's
mark.
Yeah, just
half of, half of the fucking podcast gonna be just Art going beep.
So like I said
That's
earlier,
great.
bleep, 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 and then a bleep, a bleep.
That's a good point, Art.
Ah. You're just agreeing with me as well. That's the best part.
Art's
Well, it
like, and
gets
the
to the
secret to
point-
life
I
is
agree completely.
beep.
Huh?
Totally
You
agree.
agree with the
what?
meaning of life is
That one was censored by the CIA.
It gets completely ridiculous to the point where people self-censor in absurd and increasingly absurd ways.
Oh god.
Like saying
Yeah.
unalive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say I died in the game. I've
Yep.
been unalived. It's
That
what?
honestly goes to the age of misinformation. I think that was the same age when you were rewriting. We were literally rewriting words because of censorship. That was like the end, like the late 2010s, early 2020s. Like, I mean, we're still kind of in it, but we're like halfway through the 2020s now. I'm talking like from like 2015 to like 2022. There was this constant effort to just reword things and rename things to change the lexicon of common speak, and it was infuriating for the average person, because like, how many times did everyone go to work and your coworker says you can't say that anymore, you got to call it this instead. It's like,
yeah.
all right, I guess this is now what I have to say. I got to call everyone a they instead of a him or her. All right,
Yeah,
This is-
George.
sure,
you
I'll
can't
learn.
say that.
you can't say that, George.
I think it's funny that I've kind of been coined that phrase to me because I just don't care. I genuinely don't
Yeah.
care. Because again, like,
Not caring is a luxury.
yeah. Well, at the same time though, like, I just don't see the importance or like the necessity to stop using like words like, the hard R, the leotard word. It's just obviously I don't say that, around you guys, or I try not to, but if it's like I'm on my own streaming or whatever, I'll say it. I genuinely think it's not an insulting term, or it shouldn't be like
that gets
a slur
confusing calling
for that
that
meant.
one the hard R when everyone thinks of the other thing.
Yeah.
as
Yeah, I
the
know.
hard R.
I know. I'm playing on that meme where that one guy who was explaining he's like to his friend. I forgot what podcast that was.
It was the tech podcast with
Yeah, there you go. He thought it was the other
oh God,
word.
what was his name?
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm playing on that. Yeah.
And he's like, oh god, no, oh god, oh.
But it turns out it was
Jesus.
leotard, not the other one.
Yeah,
It's like,
that
Isn't
was
that what
not
they
I'm
colloquially
talking
call it?
about.
No, they don't refer to that at all like that. Really?
Oh Jesus
Really?
Christ.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see how that could be very, very bad. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no,
but yeah, like and I've had this conversation with Wolf before. Like he's telling me that like, oh, in the medical field they stopped using the word mental retardation. I'm like, no, they haven't. They have not. They've limited a little bit, but they
Yeah.
have not entirely stopped using the word retard. But they've
Yeah.
but the thing
It
is
has a
there's
meaning.
also
yes.
there's another
Like
word
retrograde.
for it. Yeah, there's another word for, or another phrase. Let me hold on. I want to make sure it's right, but it's a physical respect to the word of retard. Like hold on.
Like an atrophy kind of thing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a
Given the
muscle
nature of-
atrophy. It's called, I guess, physical retardation, but there's an actual term for it.
Right.
Um,
It's like a regression kind of thing. isn't it?
psychomotor retardation. It's where it's a concept that refers to a slowing down of both thought and physical movement. That's a real diagnosis that doctors like will forever use because that's the only way to describe it. And I think
Yep.
it's very funny when, again, I'm not trying to dog Wolf, but like people who don't have like any kind of medical experience, they act like, oh, we're going to cancel this word because society has agreed upon this word. Yet again, the medical field doesn't give a shit. If you find it offensive, we have to use that because that's the only way we can identify that. Because if doctor to doctor, let's say a patient transfers to a new doctor, we can't write that word because you guys think it's bad. Well, the new doctor's not going to know that this person has a psychomotor retardation diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know,
that leads
and
me
then
to
that
my,
puts
my
that patient.
favorite word that is being canceled like that. Obese.
That's another
Oh
thing.
God.
Like, okay, dude, I could go on fucking hours on that.
Yeah.
That could be
I
another
will say this right
episode.
now. Okay, all right. But anyway, to finish up my thought, that word retard is never going away. I'm sorry to say this, but you guys who are so not you guys, but like talking to our viewers and people who think this word should be banned, it's not going anywhere. It's not going fucking anywhere. Stop being a little bitch. Like for real. Like it's not going anywhere. You're not gonna, no matter how much you protest, no matter how much you cry about it on social media, on your iPhone while you sip your frappuccino from Starbucks, it's never gonna go away. I'm sorry. So stop being retarded, please.
So from my understanding of the word, while medically speaking, it's not going to go away, but like from social speaking, it ended up going away. In what replaced it was idiot, moron, and all that. And now that's those two words are starting to go under fire for cancellation. So remember TikTok's rules. Remember TikTok rules.
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
that's what I mean. Like, and again,
on TikTok rules, you are not allowed to say idiot or moron in your TikTok feeds. Otherwise, you'll have your live stream pulled or whatever it was. Because it goes against.
For mine.
So let me get this straight. Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. So they allow nuisance streamers to literally endanger people's lives, but they don't allow you to say idiot and moron?
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
How the fuck?
How idiotic?
Does that make any sense?
Again, this is my main point. When we start canceling or quote unquote like banning quote unquote offensive words, we are gonna, if we allow that behavior to continue, you're gonna start like this is a great fucking example. We're looking at idiot and moron, like those aren't slurs, those aren't fucking anything. That's just normal fucking vocabulary that people have been using for forever, and it's like, because of how sensitive everybody is, and because these types of people can't be bullied or are not supposed to be bullied, they're being given this golden chalice of power to cancel anything they deem offensive, and that's the problem.
So the way I see it,
this is
the way I see it,
banning words basically.
Well, the way I see it, and this is how it will end up occurring. I mean, you know how you have those cyberpunk kind of movies where they use like schlorp instead of shit or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like the words, if they're not going to be allowed to be used because they're bad, they're going to get replaced with another word, regardless of the matter. And if you try to do that infinitely, like saying the word killed or I died and saying unalived instead, well, now you're saying unalived. Well, at what point will unalived be bad? And then that unalived gets changed out for something else, as like re-undead or something like that.
So do you know what we call that? We call that, in a battle of ideas, you cannot surpass the idea. So instead, you would attack the method of communication. Basically, what they're doing is a form of personal attack, but in a different mode, where they are now trying to rewrite the way we speak to prevent you from making the point that you are trying to make by just forbidding you from saying it without actually trying to actually surpass the idea, because they know that their idea is so stupid that it can't beat your idea. So that's where censorship, as that you were talking about, George, really comes into play. It's basically them just admitting, hey, our idea sucks, but we still want the power and control that comes from us pushing this idea, the money that's come back behind it, the like permissions that we can, give ourselves effectively, and the power that comes with canceling, the power to cancel someone else is a very strong power. So we are going to change the words so that it better suits the idea that we are trying to portray. And any word that adequately counters our idea, we're just gonna, bar it. We're gonna say that your idea is dumb because it implies this thing that it doesn't imply. Therefore, your idea is worse now than our idea because we're adding a what's the word? What's the connotation that doesn't actually exist to your verb, to your word.
Yes,
And
but when we
again,
use it, that connotation doesn't
Right.
exist. And it's just like,
well,
yeah,
that's the part is that's why they use a different word, right? That's why another
No, they
word,
don't.
like the reason why a new word comes out is because they're not crushing the idea. They're simply crushing the word. They're saying
no,
this
bro.
word is bad rather than the idea is bad.
The big issue isn't that they're crushing the word. They're crushing the word for specific people. They're saying, hey, you can't say that. I could say that just fine. There is no problem with me saying that.
Well, there's
because
that too. Yes.
I'm me, but you can't say that. That's where
Yep.
the real cancelization comes into play. It's like, you want to say the word idiot? Well, you're the moron that's trying to say that. So now you're being canceled because you have a whole bunch of connotation associated with your experiences of
Right.
you being you. It's like, what?
Going back to what I was trying to get at, though, what I was trying to say there is that it doesn't matter if they cancel that word, though, because they're still not quelling the idea. And
Yes.
that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to solve a gash in the arm with a Band-Aid. They're trying to say, hey, you can't say those things. Therefore, now I don't have to worry about that problem anymore because you can't bring it up. I forbid it. And it's like, well, okay, but the idea is still there. People are still going to think those thoughts.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, if it's me or someone in the future, another person who is able to think will logically come to the same conclusion. They're just going to be using your words instead of the old words. Like,
And then you're gonna tell them they can't say that.
Exactly. It's an infinite cycle of nonsense. Wait a minute.
Infinite nonsense.
He said the thing.
Yeah, where said the thing?
He said
You all need a name for your viewers. What are they? The nonsensicals?
no,
The
they're
infinite viewers?
They're the whimsical viewers.
The whimsical.
The whimsy
whimsical.
viewers. You're all whimsy.
This is like some type.
Whimsy.
How the heck did you get that from that? That's like how you get
honestly, I
what is
don't
it?
know.
Bobby from Richard or whatever. What the hell?
Do
Damn
they
it,
even-
Bobby.
Well, here's the question I have. Do they even need a name?
Yes.
Well,
We
if you
control
want to
them.
address them,
We own them, Rabbit. They are
Yeah.
ours, okay? We can call
They're
them
the
whatever we want.
viewers or the
Exactly.
listeners. That's
No,
their
no, no,
name.
no, 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 no. They're not viewers.
No.
They're ours. We own them.
they're part of the nonsensical nation.
They're the nonsensical, whimsical people. I don't know what else to call them.
Well, come on, we'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. But yeah, like what's it called? One of the is a quote that I heard a couple days ago. I was listening to a podcast of, I think it was Dr. Mike's. It was about a medical thing, and one of the doctors he was interviewing made a very good point. He's like, the world today is about catering to people who have their trauma. But he's like, last I checked, not everyone is a psychologist or psychiatrist. It's not our responsibility to cater to your trauma. And what he meant by that is how people are triggered by literally everything nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great point. Like, it's not our responsibility to cater to your fucking personal issues that you have. If you have issues, go seek professional help.
So
and then return to the to society for what it is and start contributing to society. And I personally agree with that. I get there's some traumas there that obviously you know, like if it's a serious trauma, then yeah, we have to, we can't be dealing with that. Like if it's genuine trauma, the trauma that I'm trying to describe is the societal definition of trauma. Like, oh, I walked outside and the cracks in the cement scare me. That is the type of bullshit that I am targeting, and I believe that the doctor is targeting too. That is the trauma that I'm identifying. Not genuine trauma, not genuine PTSD, not genuine things that people have genuinely suffered through. I'm talking about like, oh, they called me the wrong pronouns. Now I have PTSD. That's not PTSD.
Yeah.
That is just a slap to the face to every military person who has seen combat, genuinely seen combat. And then you're pretty much equating your fucking PTSD of being misgendered to the PTSD of a soldier being shot at with bullets, heavy artillery, rifles, shit like that. There's no comparison. And that's what I'm targeting. That's the type of people that I cannot stand, because
The
it's like, I am
Lilitinos
not
of the
going to sit
world,
here.
right?
Okay, I'm going to fight Rabbit. Anyway,
What do you mean? What do you mean? The ones that
did you
just
say
get
did you say the Latinos of the world?
No, Lilitinos.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought he said Latinos.
I heard it too,
was
George.
like,
I heard
wait
it
a
too.
minute. Wait
What
a
the
minute.
fuck?
Bro, he's targeting me. That's it. Let me get my fucking
Wait,
taco. Let me
whoa! I
get my
didn't mean that
sombrero.
hard. Whoa!
We're going at it, Rabbit. I'm getting my sombrero. I'm getting my poncho. We're going
See,
at it. Bro.
people
Let's
hear
go.
what they want to hear, and that's what they try to cancel others about, because they hear what they want to hear.
No,
That's
but
the real
what did you-
trouble here.
What was the word that you said though? I'm
It was
curious.
a name, Lilitino.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. I swear to God, I heard
You got all the stupid,
You know what?
Latinxes out there.
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna get it out of context. I'm gonna have the whole Latino community against Rabbit by the end of tomorrow.
True.
Good.
Post it on
Do
Twitter.
I got an enemy now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's
I've been
kinda
needing an
kinda-
enemy. I've been needing an enemy at some point.
No.
Make my-
He already
It's
has
like,
one
make
with
my
me. He
day.
doesn't need more.
No, but okay, anyway, who's Lily Tina? Is it that person that got triggered at Disneyland? Is that the person?
Yes, that's the person.
The trans person. That
the
fucking
one
dude?
that is basically going to court for recording themselves in the women's bathroom.
Oh yeah, and all the women are like it's like a class action against that person, right?
Basically,
Like all the women
yeah.
in the bathroom. Yeah.
Well, technically, they broke the law because it's in
Yes.
Florida, right? And there's a law in Florida that says that you're not allowed to record in a bathroom. I believe that's the
public
specific one
bathroom.
that was the issue. A public
Also,
bathroom, right?
I'm pretty sure only women are supposed to go in that bathroom. But, you know.
I mean,
regardless
yeah,
of that
but-
matter, the law is more the law is more you're not allowed to record in a public bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's why they're going
Exactly.
to jail, because they were doing that going,
Good.
see, I can go into this bathroom. It's like, oh, okay, why'd you have to record inside of it?
Yeah.
Way to
If
incriminate
they had
yourself.
recorded before and they recorded after, no problem would have probably happened. They wouldn't probably have not have been arrested, even though they're, whatever your beliefs are on it, that would not have been a technical violation of the law as far as I'm aware. However, because you can have plausible deniability at that point. It's like, well, I recorded before and after, but I didn't actually do it. It would have been a lot harder to prove legally. The fact that they actually recorded in the bathroom itself was like, okay, well, now we have a problem.
Yeah, got physical proof of it. And then if they try to take it down, it's just like, no, we've already archived this. So you can take it down all
And
you
that's
want,
the
but
other
that's
part,
hiding
yeah.
evidence at that point.
Yep.
Exactly. And I will say that I had an idea or a thought on one of the things that was mentioned previously. I was gonna go back to it, but now I'm struggling to kind of remember what it is. Oh God, it was on the psychological aspect of the what you were talking about, where it becomes impossible to call people what they are.
Damn.
Shoot, I've totally forgotten. Lily Tina just completely screwed me over. I lost it all.
The Lily Tina effect.
Latino.
Oh God, I blame Rabbit.
Thanks, Rabbit.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
I
blame that motherfucker.
appreciate the appraisals over here of
Report
being
Rabbit.
hated.
What were we even talking about prior to that? George was going off on something.
We were talking about what's it called? The trauma. Like, we're not responsible for people's traumas. And we shouldn't be
yes.
held accountable or punished because
Yes.
one person was misgendered in the past and I misgendered them on accident, and all of a sudden now I committed a crime. It's like, okay, no, relax, dog.
Yeah.
It's not that fucking
It's-
big deal.
So the reason why I kind of groaned during that part was because of the large scale connotations that go along with what you're saying in terms of the consequences of the consequences. But I do agree fundamentally that the way that I kind of learned this lesson is the notion of if you're going to do something, you're going to have to see it all the way through to the end. The problem is with people like that, you're not thinking about how much time and energy it takes to see that kind of trauma through until the end, because you're going to have to unpack everything, and you're going to have to do what a therapist is sort of designed to do. And I think that right now in our society, therapy is kind of used as like a stopgap to address societal concerns that arise in the mentality of people who have to constantly be dealing with a barrage of stimulation. And, you know, I don't think that the accreditation is a good, or rather a good enough verification that an individual who is associated with a psychological degree to show that they know what they're doing enough to deal with another person's trauma. I think that personally trying to help your fellow man and your fellow woman, you know, that is a notion that you just shouldn't lose sight of. But I do agree that you have to put your face mask on first in the event of a travesty on a plane, right? You can't help others until you've helped yourself. Those two kind of like notions to me lead down a better path than simply saying we shouldn't help anyone, right? Because it's this on and off kind of switch mentality that everyone kind of defaults to. That's like a pushback against the things that are not working. Is it true that caring about every single person and having no person left behind causes issues that are non-resolvable? Yes, I do agree with that. Do I agree that not, you know, going the exact opposite is the solution where we're not supposed to care about absolutely anyone else? Also, no, but that's going to be the first go-to people go to. There's got to be a middle ground where people are able to care about themselves without necessarily having to care about absolutely everyone else. And we'll get there. Well, I think there's no easy solution to it, but I think that it is.
Yeah, I agree.
It's something to keep in mind.
Answer. Yeah, I think
there is. I think there absolutely is an answer. I just don't think it's as simple as we do this one thing and everyone falls in line. It's sort of like, how do you teach a bunch of kids, right? Well, it depends. How do the kids like to learn? What are their life experiences? Having a generic thing for all teaching
how is their brain wired
is stupid.
Is the real question there, because not every life experience will lead to the right way to teach people.
Yeah, right. No, George, you're right on that. They're wired all like TikTok right now. They got no attention span. It's 7-second vines, you know.
TikTok brain rot. No, I'm just kidding. But I just
through the day
on a fundamental aspect, I do, or I guess perspective, I do agree that that, you know, to this day and age, there has been an influx of people claiming they have trauma. And I think that's another word that's been overused, is trauma. As like another word that's overused is a bigot. I feel like that one's overused and also misused as well. I think also trauma has been misused severely. And I think the lack of respect for certain words, while also while also trying to limit other words, is a contradiction that I feel like we need to talk about too. Because you can't have it both ways, right? You can't have this word mean the world to you and have another word mean like, oh, we need to get it removed from the dictionary because I find it offensive. And again, it all comes full circle. Like, I don't really give two shits if this word offends you, because that's not a universal problem. That's a you problem. And I think that's another thing that we also have to talk about too, is self responsibility, or I guess not self responsibility, more like personal responsibility. Like, it's your responsibility to make sure you are in a good, safe space. You have the responsibility of yourself to take care of yourself. I don't have the responsibility to take care of you. Art doesn't have the responsibility to take care of you. Rabbit, I don't know, maybe he might take care of you. He's like a really good father figure, like good father too. True. But besides the point, like he's like, a good uncle. We're not responsible to take care of you. That is on you. And I think we've gone to the point where people are shifting that responsibility to other people, and that's an unfair thing to do to another person. It's to shift your traumas to your quote unquote traumas to this person, and have them be responsible on how you feel. I would push back just a slightly bit.
I think that that's actually human nature. I think we've always been doing that. The problem is, in the age of information and communication increase, going all the way back to that, who we're pushing that onto used to be close friends, because they couldn't really leave you. They had to deal with your trauma with you, because they have to deal with your trauma with you as well. And you grow together through that process. And it wasn't as public as it is now. The problem really is we have to consolidate and what's the word? Not consolidate, but not compromise. We have to merge the old with the new kind of like technological advancements and figure out a way to resolve having our traumas be public, right? I feel
Well,
like that's
yeah.
right now we're just at that crossroads of history.
The biggest thing that needs to be retaught, in my opinion, and I emphasize on retaught, is treating others the way that you want to be
Oh,
treated.
he almost
So-
said the other word.
Again, George. Again, stop
I'm sorry.
mishearing
I'm
him.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Continue.
Wow,
Leotard.
yeah, I gotcha. But anyway, the point is that they need to be taught how to treat others the way that they would like to be treated. And if they continue to treat people like garbage because they want to be treated like garbage, well, then the people
Treat them
that
like garbage.
then the people that are seeing that from them need to treat them like garbage. Like
Yep.
as we were pointing out in the earlier portion, where there's some streamers on Twitch that treat people like absolute garbage, and then when they get
Yes.
pushback to be treated like garbage because they're treating others that way, well, the ones that are retaliating are the ones that are getting banned for it. And it's like, no,
And that's
you can't do that double standard there, Twitch, and that's part of the reason why
That-
they're
Yeah.
crumbling.
That I think is also the biggest thing, is the fact that you can prove that it is retaliation and not what the lies that they are spinning. Because a lot of times I've seen it, it's always these people did a bad thing, therefore we're banning them. And it's like, well, okay, but why did they do the bad thing? Oh, they're retaliating because of X, Y. Here's 100 clips of the other person calling them like a bunch of names and constantly berating them both on social media and on streams and stuff. Okay, well now I know that you're bullshitting me. No, I don't think it's justified. You're in the wrong for banning this guy if you have not also banned this other person for as long or longer. It's the same thing with like how in America we have like the constitutional right to what is it, Amendment 14, Amendment 8, one of those
I don't
two,
know which one
where
it is.
One of those two.
the penalties cannot exceed the crime that has been committed. You can't, charge someone for jaywalking, 20 years to life in prison with $100,000 fine for jaywalking. Like, that's bullshit. No, you can't do that. Just like you can't necessarily charge someone 6-month probation for murdering 10 people. Like, that's not allowed. Proportionality to the crime is needed. Same thing is true for the TOS and the moderation teams. You can't give someone a 7-day ban for calling someone a whore, who is by definition, falling into that category, and not ban the person who's calling in, first calling them a rapist. Like that just is not allowed. That is going to result in people pushing back against you, like we're doing.
Yes.
And I think what's really upsetting is that people underplay that specific part. Like when I bring it up, they're like, "Oh, why did Tectone get why did he call they say why did he get banned? He called someone a whore." And then people are always saying like, "Oh, he shouldn't have called someone a whore." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree with that." But the problem is that person also called him a rapist and didn't get banned, and they just kind of go silent. They don't "Oh, that's okay." It's like, what? You're missing the entire point here. Like,
It's
you
because
shouldn't go
some
call people a
words-
whore, but you shouldn't also have the ability to call someone and accuse someone of that and just walk away scot-free. That is like life just changing. That's like life destroying. Be
False
accused of that.
accusations are a bane on a lot
Yeah.
of conversations, and lately it's become the boy who cried wolf story, just with
Yeah.
all
It's
these
linguistic double
accusations.
standards.
Yes.
That I think is the stem of that problem, because of what we've agreed in the past 2 decades, basically. There are certain words you can say against certain people and hasn't been an issue, but there are certain things you can't say against other groups of people, and that linguistic double standard where one group of people are being constantly targeted and it's okay, and another group of people isn't, like that's not okay. Like, either they all need to be okay or they all need not to be okay. There cannot be this middle ground double standard, because then you lead to moderation double standards due to the fact that the person who is subjectively viewing the thing is looking. So have you ever heard of the human veil? Is this a concept I should maybe explain?
Veil.
No, not again. VEIL.
Oh, not
It's
VALE.
basically the notion. Yeah, this is the notion that no matter what you look at the world, when you look at the world, there's always like, let's say you and someone else view an accident. When you're both looking at the accident, there are three perspectives: your perspective, the other person's perspective, and what actually happened. Because regardless of who you are looking at the world through what your eyes tell you, your ears let you hear, and all of your five senses. All of those limit how you interpret the world based upon what is actually happening. All of it is an interpretation. Same thing happens when you look at linguistic double standards. If you're in a society, right, you will look at it through the societal's perspective, and if there's double standards inside of that, right, you're going to, assess things based upon those standards. It's on the communities as a whole to, push back against those double standards if we don't want that subjectivity to be injected inside of platforms like Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes, we live in a society.
Oh God, I'm not the Joker,
All right.
I swear.
All right, I think we probably should adhere to Rabbit's warnings. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
We can.
Honestly,
I know we can all go on. It's like, this is something we all have very strong opinions on. So, but
Yes.
I'll listen to Rabbit for the first time in my life. I'll listen to that fool.
Dear
my
God,
God.
the world's ending.
Oh no.
Just because I kind of want to. I want to take. I found some place that I want to take Christy, and it closes. Not soon, but I want to do it before it gets dark.
That's
Oh,
fair.
what about Marvel Rivals?
We can play when I get back, you big baby.
Yeah, while you
That's
guys
fine,
play
that's fine.
Marvel
I'm cool with
Rivals,
that.
I'll probably be playing Helldivers 2.
You can join.
What?
Oh well, what?
Wait a minute. What?
What?
Pause.
Hold on.
I'll tell you
play
later.
Helldivers.
We
Hold on.
can revisit that either offline or another episode. As for
another
now, we should probably wrap it up there.
But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, and yeah. If you want to check us out, our links will be in the description. We all stream, we all make videos, we all do fun stuff. So anyway, my name is George City. This is Rabbit Hat and Arch of Abyss. We are Infinite Nonsense. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.